Oh my, another episode about Celestia, but this time paired with her sister. Well, screw this, toss out the false god and you have perfect episode for me. You know, I usually do a recap style of review, slowly going through the thing and noting anything that I find interesting, but this time, well, the story, when you water it down, is extremely simple. I call it the swapped shoes routine. I bet people in the industry have different name for it, but for the lack of knowledge, I got my own. In essence, two characters swap places and realize that the other one's tasks aren't that easy. So because the story is so simple, I much rather go through each character instead. Let's start with Twilight. The older and more mature she gets, the more annoying and played out she becomes. You can say that writers chose to have Twilight as a stand-in for us, the fans.
Sorry, it's just, you said princesses and aren't the best in the same sentence, and it's making me nervous!
See what I mean? But, and yes, this story does feature some buts. I just can't take Twilight's involvement seriously. If anything, she ruins the mood, especially in the end. I mean, for Buck's sake.
I knew you could do it, and I'm so proud of you! Tell me everything! Start from after I hyperventilated and don't leave out any details!
Moving on to Starlight. Well, before that horse is thrown into glue machine, let's quickly discuss the map. Starlight alone gets called, and as Twilight notes, it's the first time only one pony and a non-element at that is called. Many had theorized that this would happen one day, and frankly, I did not expect exactly this. My bets were on Zakora or Spike, but I'm just a biased party here. Since the new season is semi-focusing on our ex-villain and soon-to-be demigod, this made sense, I guess. But okay, don't listen to the salty bug horse of premonition. Back to the plot device. I mean Starlight. Whoops, did I just slip out? Oh, I'm sorry. All in all, Starlight's involvement is really small, as she immediately gets thrown into the problem without the need to search for it. Wow, either the map finally got the GPS upgrade or writers enjoy throwing characters around as if they are shining armor and those characters are Cadence. I mean, come on, in Pantal Glidance, Scoots first enjoyed that treatment. Anyhow, after examining sisters, our unicorn decides to confront the afflicted party. Luna for drinking early and Celestia for being worse. Being Celestia. Predictably, sisters start arguing and freaks out Starlight. In response, she does a responsible thing. Swaps the shoes. But the twos. Though just for a day, and later on hogs Celestia's whole night shift. Or at least that's how it seemed. So hope you pony folks slept well that day. I sure did. I remember dreaming of draining the life out of Lily Lace, Snips and Snails, Celestia, and an entire yak population, while sharing it with my queen. Ah yes, what a lovely dream it was. What was I on about? Oh, Starlight, right. In essence, she played the role of catalyst here, and as I said, a plot device. Oh, hold on. I think I know what Starlight's official princess name will be. The plot device princess. Oh wait, that's already taken by Cadence. Oh fuck. Back to the drawing board. Now, turning to Celestia, yes, I'm not a fan. If anything, I'm the furthest thing from it. But when I look at the character development in the season alone, it's like I'm seeing a completely new being. She displays flaws and emotions, feelings and opinions. Though it's below what Photo Finish did in just one episode, it's still praiseworthy. Now, in this portion, I have to talk about dreams, and I do give artists and writers mad props for creating some really interesting dream sequences. Pulling off a good abstract and distorted view is hard, and this show, since the beginnings, had never disappointed me in this aspect. For that, bravo, I say. This time we get not only a nice wink here and there, but also a new and hopefully not a one-off villain, though it's Starlight's construct and should not be taken as the real opposite self of Celestia. Daybreaker is an interesting character, as shallow as Nightmare Moon, but at least not mad, yet also not as deep. Still, character-wise, I'm currently talking about two puddles of piss, so yeah. Still, as I said in the past, if my queen would not exist, I would gladly serve Nightmare Moon. But back to Daybreaker, she's very one-dimensional, enough so that she can be described by one word, the same word Terek can be, power. Oh, and one more thing, Daybreaker compared to Nightmare is over-designed. Look at Luna and Nightmare, then compare Celestia and Daybreaker. It's quite apparent that someone should have stuck with the basics and simplicity. But nevertheless, let's get on to the fun part. Luna! I know this is just a detail, but I love how grumpy Luna's being. She's basically mimicking me, and for that, thank you. Seriously though, I will destroy anyone who dares to wake this bug horse without really good reason. I value my sleep more than, well, almost everything. Anyways, as Luna tells her story, we learn how she feels. Neglected and unrecognized, the main reasons why she became Nightmare Moon. This story is a really good one in terms of explaining and showing how Celestia could have driven Luna to such extremes, and I love it, be that intentional or not. And when finally both sisters start arguing, notice how Luna just writes off a couple of Celestia's tasks, while Celestia completely patronizes everything Luna does. As it goes, to me, Celestia's portion actually emphasizes how amazing Luna is, while Luna's part was just some meaningless, mundane, busy work that should have been given to others, so the leader of the country can rule and not partake in some meaningless squabbles. Which leads me to a conclusion. This story was about Luna, with Celestia as the narrator. At least that's how I see. Now sure, Luna's perspective was similarly depicted in comics, but you know how I feel about those. So yeah, it's safe to say that this was an extremely basic story, done a million times both on TV and off it. What made it interesting for me was character development and other details. Even with the basic story, it already is one of my favorites, if just for Luna's faces alone. The bottom line of the story for me is this: the older we get, the more mature, if you will, the less we are inclined to talk about our feelings. I've found this true to myself and family that's way older. After all, as we get older, we tend to close off as the routine and other mundane things set in. But it's important to talk, if just for the sake of getting it out of your system.